All right, Paul, I know I'm off camera on this one, but run us through this test of this thing.
Yeah.
This is amazing. This is awesome.
So I'm excited to show everybody. So the tagline for it is changing the world for the heroes to protect ours. And that's the whole point. So it's a really simple format for the application. You'll have a dashboard where you'll have all the things that are available to you. There's a claim optimization report, which we're going to start with. Then from that, it will actually generate the Nexus statement. It'll generate the personal statement. And at the end, I'm going to show you probably the best part of this is the interactive avatar where we do a CNP exam. So for the claims report, we're just going to put in, let's just say John Smith, and we're going to make up some information. So John Smith at gmail.com. And let's just say 410. All right. So branch of service. If you're like me, proud to be a Marine. So hoorah. And then what we'll do is we'll just take a fictitious date, right? So we'll say 2015, it was October 13th. So that's when I went in. And let's say I just served, 11 years. So let's go back to October 13th of 2024. We'll say September 13th. So right about 11-year service, or no, I'm sorry, about 9-year service. All right, my rank at discharge was a sergeant. I had an honorable discharge, let's just say. Was I ever deployed to a combat zone? So we'll say yes. And in here, because what this does is this will actually pick up for the PACT Act and any other presumptive conditions. So we're going to say Iraq, let's say Afghanistan, and you don't have to spell it right. If you can't spell it right or you don't want to, it's all good. If you have a service-connected disability, let's say for this one, yes, and my left-hand knee is covered at 20% already. And what I want to do is I want to file some additional claims, right? So I already got one, accepted. So list any other disabilities. So I want to say PTSD, and I want to say migraines and tinnitus. All right. So these are the things that I'm struggling with. Are there any new disabilities? So for this one, yep, migraines, tinnitus, and PTSD. All right. Did you sustain any injuries while in your service? So let's just say I left hand knee surgery in 2000. We're going to say 2015. All right. And have you sought medical treatment? So we're going to say multiple times and multiple different doctors. And this will actually get us for the migraines. All right. So we've seen the doctor for the migraines. Are there any conditions that affect your ability to work? So yes. So in this one, like most veterans, migraines impact my ability to work. And for this one also, we're going to say PTSD. Have you ever filed a disability claim with the VA before? What this is doing in the background is it's actually allowing you to see maybe you didn't get the rating that you deserve from the original one. So we're going to say left-hand knee, 20%. Are you currently employed? Yes. What's your job? This is because what we have to do as part of your claim, and depending on whether it impacts your work, it could be higher rating. So this actually analyzes what your job is, and it can detect if you should get a higher rating. Do you have any spouse or dependent or children? This is going to change your rating and as far as how much you get, right? Because of the dependence thing. So let's say here, PTSD, hearing loss, I'm having some back, neck, or joint pain, right? And kind of everything else. So are there any additional comments or information? So migraines and tinnitus are flaring up. Okay. And then what we ask everybody to do is just a consent. So do you consent to have your information processed with AI? And then we're going to generate. So right now it's generating the report, tells you success. So it takes about 30 seconds to generate the report. And what's happening here is your report is actually going into a background AI system and it's being analyzed so that it can actually optimize your disability claim. So now your report is generated. So what this has done is it's basically taking your information, and there you can see my branch of service, claimed disabilities, right? And then service-connected disability. So this document articulates the case for approval. And then so what it's going to do now is it's going to go through the medical records that I've either given it and the information that I've given it to try to actually create the optimized claim. So if we go down a little bit, the diagnosis. So that's important because the CFR says that you must have a current diagnosis of the disability that you're claiming. So a lot of veterans get this wrong, where maybe they had something in the past, but they don't have a current diagnosis. So this is going to prompt that. Again, the nexus statement, which we're going to go create. And then tinnitus has been recorded, which is a common service-related disability. So it talks about that. The lay evidence. So this is the evidence. So the veteran reports a decline. You're going to see these things when we generate the other reports. So what this is doing is it's feeding off of it, and this is all written per the CFR. You're going to start to see the CFR actually highlighted in this. So there again, impacts of disability on my life. Because I said it did impact my work, it's actually generating how it impacts my work based on my job. According to the CFR 38.4.130 regarding medical disorders due to traumatic stress, so here is where it's actually finding the CFR applicable thing so that you could even look it up afterwards. Most veterans do not even know that that exists, right? And so this is where our diagnostic codes come from. Identified weaknesses and recommendation. So enhancing the claim through medical evaluations, addressing severity of migraines. This actually tells you as the veteran what you should go do before you file this claim. And if you have this information, it will bolster your claim. Even something, a submission of personal statements, which, oh, by the way, this platform actually helps you build, will help you with your claim. Additionally, most veterans don't know, and they only file primary conditions. But what this does is it picks up the secondary conditions that may be available. Now, depending on what you file, this will all change, right? So the secondary conditions here, because originally I had put a knee injury, it's pulling up that chronic pain could be, and chronic pain can actually exacerbate my mental disorder. So because I can't do normal life, it may make me more depressed. And so that would be a claim that I could file. So next steps. So this is actually telling the veteran what they should do. So, and again, this will change depending on what you put in there. It could be more specific. If it thinks that you need documentation, it will tell you to do that. So, and then at the bottom, it will tell you reference 38 CFR 4.130 and any other sections. You can go read the exact thing you need to be prepared. So then for this one, because I'm doing secondary claims, I need a nexus letter. So what we'll do is all you have to do, it's one click, and we're going to generate a nexus letter for our doctor. And so right now it's taking my initial optimized claim information, and it has created me in that little of a time an entire nexus letter. And so we can actually go in here and copy and paste this into a Word doc and take out insert claim number, insert date, and allow your doctor to fill all of this information. So the nexus letter is prepared to support the disability claim of Mr. John Smith for PTSD, migraines, and tinnitus. So it's saying how everything is combined. It even goes into the Code of Federal Regulations, Title 38, PTSD can be connected to service if it's linked to a traumatic event. So here's all of the things. Most veterans don't know there's actually something called combat-related migraines. And so what this did, it actually pulled the report up where the medical substantiation is on that, so that your doctor could look that report up
That is wild.
and find the correlation. PTSD, the rationale. So this is the rationale. The Mayo Clinic supports the connections between migraines and stress, which is most likely abundant during Mr. Smith's service, because I had said that I was in combat in this example. So there is an actual study, the impact of deployment on migraine headaches in military personnel. In final conclusion is a statement that's literally written by, for your doctor. And what this does, because of feedback from the system, is it protects your doctor. It allows a buffer zone between the VA and your doctor. And this is really amazing. So then next we'll go to the personal lay statement. So most people don't realize that a personal lay statement will actually change the ability of you to get your disability. And it can increase the severity of your disability, because what you're doing in this personal statement is you're actually showing that it impacts your life. And as veterans know, all disabilities, whether they're big or small, impact our life. So what we've done now is it takes the entirety of our Nexus letter and our optimized report, and it builds an entire letter for you, the veteran. So my name is John Smith, because I told it my name was John Smith. And so it goes through everything. It even puts when I got my surgery and what I was granted. My migraines have worsened over time, frequently incapacitating me. The wording that this use is based off of the VA rating manual. And that's important, because if your personal statement isn't written to the VA manual, you are leaving money on the table. So as we go through this, you can see an entire thing where it goes into about PTSD. I find myself feeling overwhelmed in stressful situations, leading to anxiety, depression, and difficulty in maintaining focus. So what it's doing is it's building the case of the impact to you. And that's the whole purpose of a personalized statement. Okay, so the next thing, and the most important part of any veteran's disability claim, is your CNP exam. And up till now, you go into this exam blind. What I'm going to show you is our interactive avatar. So we have created a speech-to-speech interactive avatar that allows you to practice your CNP exam. In this example, we're going to use migraines and PTSD. And I'm going to show you how this works. So you would pick your avatar, and we'll have a selection of avatars as the program and the platform expands. And so as this is initializing, I want you to start the medical exam.
Sure, let's get started. Can you please tell me about the specific disability claim you are filing for today? This will help me focus our discussion on the areas that are most relevant to your condition.
I want to claim migraines and PTSD.
Understood. Let's start with migraines. Can you describe the frequency and severity of your episodes? Also, let me know if there are any specific triggers or symptoms you experience with them.
I'm having 2 to 3 different migraines per week, and sometimes I can't work.
That sounds challenging. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate? And do you experience any other symptoms along with vision, sensitivity to light, or aura?
They are an 8 out of 10, and sometimes I have light sensitivity.
Thank you for sharing. Now let's talk about your PTSD. How does it affect your daily life? And what specific symptoms? I'm sorry to hear that. How often do these nightmares occur? And do they impact your ability to sleep through the night? Also, during the day, do you find yourself avoiding certain places or situations because they remind you?
So yes, I have anxiety and sometimes nightmares, and sometimes I'm triggered by places.
Thank you for sharing that. It sounds like these symptoms can be quite impactful. Tell me if these experiences are interfering with your work or personal relationships. Also, do you have any coping mechanisms or treatments that help manage these symptoms?
Yes, they impact my work because I did not get a promotion and my girlfriend left me.
I'm really sorry to hear about these challenges. It's clear that your symptoms are significantly affecting your life. Are you currently receiving any form of treatment or therapy for your migraines or PTSD? If so, how effective has it been in managing your symptoms?
I take medicine for the migraines and I still have them every single week.
It sounds like the medication may not be fully effective in controlling your migraines.
So
Discuss this with your health.
what she's doing right now is going through the disability questionnaire.
Understand.
So I'm going to. So what this allows the veteran to do, and I appreciate you walking through this, this allows the veteran to actually go through a DBQ with a provider. And this is an AI provider who is asking questions directly from the DBQs. I've trained it to ask them not in sequential order and also to change the format of the questions, just like a real examiner. And what you've seen here is she's asked me to follow the DBQ about impact to work, severity, and if I've actually received any kind of treatment for it. So she is showing if I've got a current diagnosis. All of these things are the rating scales from the VA examiners.